Welcome to the Spilled Ink and Coffee Show, where we take book discussions to a new level. We don't just read books, we interview them, journal about them, sip coffee, spill thoughts, and explore stories on and off the page. Grab a cup and get cozy, because every book deserves a great conversation. Today, we're embracing the messy, the unpolished, and a few half-baked ideas, all in its caffeine-fueled glory. We present to you the Rough Draft. Okay, friends, so you're just joining us, and we're already in the middle of a conversation about Star Trek books. So, just to preface, we're huge Trekkie fans, and we were discussing Section 31. And Rachel started telling me that Garrick has his own book. So let's just continue our conversation.
So Andrew Robinson, who is the actor who plays Liam Garrick on Deep Space Nine, wrote his story of Garrick after Deep Space Nine. The cool thing about the book was that half the book was clearly about how he was helping to rebuild his world after the Dominion destroyed it, but there was so much flashback to his life in the Obsidian Order. There's lots of little Easter eggs, so if you like the show, watch Deep Space Nine like we did, he talks about when he was a gardener in the Romulan embassy, but miraculously the Romulan pro-council died. You get the whole story behind that in this book.
Some of you might not know what that means or any of those words, but I will tell you there's some hot, steamy gay man stuff, and I love that, and you'll love that. And that's really what we got into this conversation about, was the backstory between Dr. Bashir and Garrick, because off camera, they wrote their backstory, because they were just kind of not the main characters of Deep Space Nine, but they were really strong supporting characters. So on their downtime, they just created this little fantasy world where they loved each other. And we got to see that happen in Lower Decks, which if you haven't watched Lower Decks,
You need to watch Lower Decks.
Guys, they even wrote a book for Lower Decks. And it's their spin on Choose Your Own Adventure, which is called Warp Your Own Way. And you don't just do it one time. You have to figure out the combination, and your goal is to not die.
And how many different adventures have you taken now?
3, and we need to take one together, because
Yes.
I'm still dying in every adventure.
I think that's an episode of the show.
Yes. Well, and it is an episode, and it starts out with a cup of coffee. Your choices.
Then that's perfect.
Black coffee or Rattigino. I know. Good segue. So we're moving into why we're actually what we do. I know.
So I think we kind of started about a year or so ago.
Oh my gosh, it might be our anniversary right now.
It might be. I didn't bring my other journal, but I think it started around a year ago. We were meeting for breakfast once a week, just chatting, and somehow we started talking about books and how I was on this reading journey because my daughter was auditioning for colleges, and I was bored because we were traveling a lot, and then we'd get to these places and I would sit for 8-9 hours while she was auditioning and not have anything to do. So I was trying to find something to productively fill my time. So I made the commitment that I was going to start reading, and it evolved into this journal that then we started talking about, and it turned into this book club, but a not reading the same book club. We got to talk about what we read, because while we read some of the same things, we are
completely opposite,
quite different in our reading.
100%. So I've been inspired by what you read, and I've found myself crossing into other genres because of what I read in your journal. So we just read our own thing, and then we swap our journals. And I think we're going to swap now. Okay. Now we also journal differently.
We do. I got the idea of journaling from TikTok, Book Talk. I was watching people put together these book journals, and I like to be creative, but I'm also a copycat. I'm my best creative when I'm copying someone else's work. So I just started putting together this journal, but it grew and it expanded. I got some great ideas from your journal because you took it in a different way. So I've incorporated things that Casey has done, and I think we've just kind of grown this journaling journey together.
Yeah, and it's been really fun. It's been fun. So how Rachel does her journal, even though she should be talking about it, but this will give you a different perspective, is she does one journal per year, where mine is a living journal that just keeps going because I'm just happy that I fill it. Like, I'm just happy I'm reading. She's inspired me to actually read more. And I used to read a lot way back when. So what we usually do is swap journals to see what we've been reading recently. So, and then sometimes we go back and we look at all the pretty pictures and such.
And I do feel I need to preface, because I think this is a slight area of controversy. Audiobooks are reading.
Why would this be controversy? Why have people got problems with this?
I don't know why. Like, let me live my life. Let me read how I want to read. But in this world that we live in, audiobooks are reading. 100%.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do without my audiobooks, because I love science, but I don't want to read the science textbooks, so I'll listen to that. And then I think I absorb as an auditory learner, because we're different learners.
Yeah.
Oh, we should probably mention that we're both teachers.
We are both teachers.
We're both teachers, although she's the language arts specialist and I'm the performance visual arts specialist. And we understand the different learning types. And way back when, and I hate test taking, but I took the test and I'm split 50-50. I'm an audio 50 and a visual 50.
Okay.
So the audiobooks are my jam, and then journaling and reading the book are also my jam. I think I love them equally.
I think there's a bit of, I'm going to be teachery here, sorry guys, kinesthetic learning involved with the writing and the creativity that goes into the journaling.
That's a good vocabulary word.
Thank you. It helps the things that are important in the book, or the things that matter to you, stick, because you're writing. That's what I always tell my students. Like, you should.
Hi, David. Welcome.
David. You should write down your notes. Physically write them down. Don't type them, because it's the physical act of writing that sticks things in your brain, in your memory, in your core. So that's why I like looking for the quotes and my reactions, because it helps me remember better what I read.
So let's break down the format. Wait, let's trade books back.
We're gonna trade books.
All right, because that's fun. All right, how you format your actual journal part.
Oh, did you finish that?
I did finish.
I can't wait to hear about this book.
But we're gonna skip it, because in case my mom watches this, I don't want her to waste that. My mom recommend a lot. That's the really fun part, is getting the book recommendations from random people like my mom. But we both journal differently, because my book size is smaller. Mine is this size. It's like 5x7, 6x8. I think it's 6x9.
And I think mine's 8x11 or 8x10. So mine's a little.
But it's still one page per book.
Yeah.
The difference is that she likes to physically write a ton more than I do.
I write a lot.
And that's okay.
And that is fine.
Because for me, it's the prompts are there. So when we trade books and you're reading it, then we can evolve the conversation out of it.
Yeah.
But when we first started this, the information side was different. So just print a picture of your book. And maybe in a future episode, we'll show you how we both do that, because we both do that differently. And then we have the title of our book. Well, actually, at the top of mine, it's the date of completion. And then the title of my book, and then the author, and then the genre, and then the format. And then you give it a rating. And then you go with your quotes and then your review. And a lot of that's kind of loose, because I seem to add other things in mine. For a while, I was writing at the bottom, what did I learn from this book? What was my takeaway? And then I don't think I stay in my rating. So
Yeah.
I don't stay within my rating. But I think we both do the same thing. Yours is set up that same way, or do you have something different?
No, mine is set up the same way. I've got like my information. I added this year because Casey and I were talking, curious about, and again, this is just like an ever evolving thing because of the conversations that we've had, was the idea of which publisher do you read the most of? Are you reading more of one publishing house than the other? So this year I have my title, my author, the dates that I read it, the genre, and then I added this year the publisher because I was interested to see, was I reading more of one publisher than the other?
Now, I don't have it written her way. I just have a tally where I do little tick marks. She takes it one step further. Hers is a really evolved book. But this is to show you how different we are.
So I track based on, I have my key over here, based on which publishers I've read the most, what repeats, all of that. I think eventually I'm going to run out of colors, but I've found that there's a lot of, aside from self-publishing, there's a lot of publishing houses out there that I just assumed there was like the big 4 or 5.
Right. No, there's like 20 million is how I'm learning.
And I've learned so much from that. When I first started this, it was the book, when I read it, the rating, and just like a quick 2-3 sentence blurb. And I found that I was reading and I was finding these great quotes. And I mean, that's the beauty of books, is the language and the words and what's trying to be said. There were some great quotes that I wanted to remember. So that's where it kind of took off and evolved into, here's the quotes that I love, and here's my response.
I was just happy I read a book and I gave it a rating, and that was it. But then I started getting into the quotes, and then in the review, because I didn't even do a review, then I just started doing one sentences, and then I found out I had a lot to say, but not still as much as she has to say, because I can't write down. I mean, I can write down all my thoughts, but sometimes my brain goes so fast, it's easier for me to put the bullet points on my review section, so then we can talk about it, which is why I think we're evolving into this next step.
Right, because there's just so much to say.
And we always have a lot to say.
We have a lot to say about the books.
Now we're going to back up a minute, because we're going to talk about how we rate our books. Otherwise, none of this is going to make sense to you at all.
So again, this is where we're different, and that's okay. So she's got her ratings, her stars.
And I don't stick to my stars, guys, at all. But my 1 says it should have been spaced out the airlock. Or number 2 is, who wrote this crap? And 3 stars is, meh, I could have loved it or not, whatever. Number 4 stars is, yes, queen. 5 stars, I loved it. More than 5 stars means I'm obsessed. And I had to add that in because I was getting lots of beyond 5 stars.
Okay.
So I had to get an obsessed rating in there.
And I am pretty straightforward, which is kind of more my personality. I have my 1 star, which is a DNF. It's a waste of time. 2 stars is, I wanted to like it. I've actually found, it's so funny now that I see that. I've had a lot of 2 stars this month. Anyway,
interesting.
I know. 3 stars is liked it, could have been better. 4 stars is loved it. It had an impact on me. And 5 stars is I couldn't put it down. It's my new fave. So, right there.
You know, so you got to think how you're going to rate your books. Now, we've also done something pretty special with our number 1 rates, or if you even like get through it. Like I can't get through it at all, I don't even like log that crap down and give it the 1 star. We just space it out the airlock. Eventually I'll get there. So this is my airlock. And those are the books I spaced. I print them small, I stick them in there, and I say, see you, bye.
And
done.
I am a DNFer. I don't know if it's, I'm going to find it here in a second.
So, DNF. I think that should be isn't that a DNR? Do not revive. I think we need to change the letter. I kind of feel like that's what it should be. What was the letter for F? It's a DNF.
Did you not finish?
Oh, did not finish.
Did not finish.
No, we need to DNR it. We're going to put them in hospital beds, and we're going to have a flat line. And this is beep. So if you want to...
My DNF is actually, it stands for Delight Not Found. It's a little graveyard.
I love the graveyard.
So far this year, I have not DNF'd anything. I have a problem doing that.
Because you want to believe in the book?
I want to believe in the book. I've committed to it. I want to give the author the credit. I DNF'd 2 books last year, and I made a resolution that this year I would put the book down. So far, I haven't done that.
Okay. I think let's try and help you evolve that so you can actually don't just get rid of it. She loves stamps. She's a stamp, and then she does the card kind of art. I'm not the stamp person, but I want to be. And I feel like once you put the little thingy in the graveyard, you need to get your little boo stamp where the ghost is coming out. And
I do have ghosts.
And then give it a personality of the book. Like, for example, what book did you put in the graveyard last year?
It was called Boardwalk Kings.
So a ghost coming out the back with a crown on.
Yeah.
Like, have more fun with it. So that way when you don't feel guilty, because you're like, don't worry, you're sending someplace for another life somewhere.
That's my goal, because I've had a couple 1 stars so far this year, and I probably should have.
I really wanted to space the one that my mom gave me. I kept going through this book. We're going to have to trade journals and just get into that. We could break down our books as we go along. This is just a pilot episode, guys. You're lucky that we actually are filming. So, do what you will. And you're going to love this, because I forgot my regular reading glasses. So the only way I can read things is by using my reading sunglasses. Who does that? I do that.
But if you know Casey, it's kind of on brand, and it's kind of fantastic that she's about to pull out these sunglasses. I'm just saying.
I could add the hat, but so hashtag over 50, you get the reading glasses, but that was more like hashtag over 40.
Yeah.
And then I was reading after we started this whole shebang outside all the time, because we live in Florida. So we like to go to the beach and just read a book. And my retinas were on fire because the sun is going through my reading glasses. And I'm like, oh yeah, my eyes are the little ants that the 9-year-old boy is frying out in science class. So I had to get sunglass readers, and they have to be fashionable, not sponsored, but wearlight.com. But we're not sponsored, but it's cutest frames
But
ever.
if you want to, give us a call.
That's right, because we're reading in all kinds of reading glasses.
Correct.
And other glasses. All right, so where we left off last week in each other's books. So we're still in the month of February. So we're waiting for her. I'm always excited. She has the book of the month. And after all of the reviews, I'm like, what is it that we're going to do? So we're going to take a minute. We're going to read the journals real fast, and then we'll bring you back so you know what we thought.
Be right back.
I'm still listening to David Sedaris' Carnival of Snackery. We're finally down from 30 hours to 3.
Those 30-hour. Well, speaking of 30-hour, this one I read The Heat of the Everflame. I listened to it. It was 34 hours.
Holy crap! A self-published 34-hour. Stand by. I need to read this review.
Self-published 34 hours.
Holy
it is the 3rd book in a series. It's the Kindred series, and there's supposed to be a 4th book, but there's no date or title for that yet.
So, Heat of the Everflame, audio, romantasy. She still puts the pages on the audios, even because I guess that brings it more into context of how long is the actual book in case you don't want the audio book, which is great. I don't do that, so you're just going to get the audio book, whatever. So she gave it 2 stars. Now I have to read the quotes, and then we'll figure out why. But we can bounce back and forth if we need to. So we're skipping David Sedaris right now because I'm not done listening to him. I feel like the quote, this one's from a Bible. Hate is easy. It's mercy that requires greater strength. Okay.
I mean, there were some great quotes. And I loved the second book. The second book was fantastic.
Well, this quote is great. Satisfaction is the death of curiosity. That's true. That's why I don't think like you should ever be satisfied in your life. You should always be, looking for
wanting more. What's next?
What's next? What's next?
I just wanted more to happen.
Oh, yes. You cannot solve a problem you refuse to look at. My dad always said that to me. So he's like, you can run away physically from your problems, but I remember he goes, but it's always right here. And that's true. That's so true. This book was so long, I feel like nothing really happened. Okay. That's something
They literally just, I felt like going in circles. If I had a map of the world that this book took place, like they were just going from place to place to place, causing a little bit of chaos and then moving on, but not actually accomplishing anything. Like, it's fine if you go somewhere to cause chaos.
Yeah.
But like, what is the result of that? They was just...
That sounds like kindergarten.
Yes.
That's what kindergartners do.
So
yes. I know that you're frustrated with this, and because we've been doing this for so long, because right here when she spelled the word kingdom, there's a little bit of a slip of the pen and blending the letters because your mind was going so fast because you're like, frack this book. I just got to get this out. I'm so pissed off. So this is Rachel's pissed off writing when the letters converge. That's her pissed off writing because they go from kingdom to kingdom and they don't really do anything. I feel like these are half the video games I watch my husband play.
Yes.
And in the second book, she's still not acknowledged as a queen. And there's these 3 chapters of graphic sex. All right, so guys, listen. If you need the sex stuff, then you probably, was it steamy on the audiobook at all? Did the person like give it any kind of like, all right, don't listen to it.
It just didn't do anything for me. And I'm not...
Even if you saw it in writing to let your imagination go without the voice? All right.
No, I'm not... I need the spice to be with purpose. Like I'm not opposed to spice. I like spice in my writing. I need it to be for a purpose. And I felt like in this book, the 2 main characters have been dancing around each other for 2.5 books, and they'd never actually done the deed. So it was like, oh crap, we've come to the end of the 3rd book and Nothing. So let's just throw in these 3 chapters where literally for 3 chapters, they just had sex all over the palace.
Wow. So
yeah,
this is now where my thought is going, because you've given me books to read. I've given you books to read. I'm going to get both of us something that we're going to read. We're going to put a little picture in and we're going to review it and see how it stands up against all of these bad sex romances. Because I feel like lately you read a lot of bad sex stuff or sex for no reason.
It's the sex for no reason that drives me nuts. If there's a lot of that for a reason, I appreciate that. And it's part of the story, and it's what evolves and ties characters together.
And right now I feel like you're just like, I'm reading a lot of books and stories that have cats in them. I don't even really like cats, guys.
I mean, like, are on a cat kick. Yeah.
Wait till you see more cats show up.
Good. Okay, I love cats.
I don't even think I wrote it yet. But, I mean, so here's the challenge. And this is why you guys are going to love the Spilled Ink and Coffee Show. Because I'm going to go and I'm going to get a magazine that has crap ton of articles. And if I remember reading these back in the day, just go with it, because when you're a young teenager, you're curious. I'm not afraid to tell you my stories. And the articles in these bunny magazines, because I don't know, can we say Playboy? I'm just gonna say it, but whatever. Shout out to Playboy, hashtag. Back in the day, your articles were awesome. I enjoyed reading them as a teenager. I mean, thanks for the photos also. So I challenge against all of these self-publishers, against the articles combined with the sexy photos from a Playboy. So I'm going to go find us some Playboys.
Okay.
And then we're going to read them and we're going to review them, even though it's multiple authors in there.
Okay.
And see if the articles are how I remember that they were very upstanding, but I bet no matter what, we're going to feel differently.
Probably.
But I mean, who reviews that? Does anybody book talk those or journal those or Insta books?
Not that I've seen.
Or bookie books? Well, we're going to do it, folks. We are. I wonder if they have any at that Newport Richie place.
Oh, I don't know.
So we're going to go on a field trip. We'll take you with us. More on that another time. All right, so lots of bad sex, guys. Don't read this if you need it for that.
Or
Steamy
just skip
stuff.
the last 3 chapters.
Or that, because it doesn't. It's irrelevant.
It's really, you could literally skip the last 3 chapters. Just read the very last, like the last. So the last 4 chapters, skip the last 3, and then read the last one, and you're good to go. That's all you need.
This is the best part. I'm sure the 4th book will be longer, and I sure hope something actually happens in that one. We're still waiting for the dragons, guys. Still waiting for the dragons. It's awesome.
Do you want me to do your?
Yeah,
ugly
sure.
sweater?
I'll go to the next one.
So this one.
Oh, Diary of an Ugly Sweater. Just go for it.
Okay, so I know that this is one that was gifted to Casey by her fantastic mother. It was a self-published book. I remember when I was looking at it, and the comment that I made was the formatting was highly distracting. To me, anyway. I needed it. It needed some editing.
I didn't bring it to show it to you because I already shelved it. So it's ready for Christmas when she quizzes me. Because my mom said there's a quiz on the book.
Oh, there's a quiz.
Yes,
Okay.
she's having because she got it as a gift for everybody with the intent that we read one diary entry style a day. And then she's going to quiz us. She's also a teacher, guys.
The sexy snow girls were erotic.
Yeah.
Isn't this a kid's book?
It's supposed to be a family book about an ugly sweater who's a Christmas sweater, and she goes on a journey, and her journey is, just like a teenager going through her personal development and life lessons. But somehow we automatically went right to Mean Girls, and we had the sexy sweaters.
I remember when you were
words.
Yeah, I remember when you were reading this. Yeah, exotic clan of ugly sweaters with short skirts. This is not a kid's book.
No, that's how this teenage sweater, which I'm going to say is probably based on how you could read her personality, that she was probably a tween. So she's more like 12 going on 13 going on 14. And yeah, we just talked about all this stuff.
And that you think that this would be a better, if it were truly a kid's book, it would be a good kid's picture book.
Yes, for a little kid to feel, it was about, diversity a lot too. How she wasn't the same as everybody else, and that's okay. So I think it would be a cute holiday story. But it even involves even more. I know you're going to keep reading it. I don't even think I say. But it ends with guardian angels. And I'm just
what?
Like, yeah.
So we've got sexy snow girls and exotic sweaters with short skirts and guardian angels.
Yeah.
All right.
And a scary Santa. Like creepy Santa. Sorry.
Oh.
I know. They become friends.
The sweater and creepy Santa become friends.
So the she got purchased from a Walmart. And this 17-year-old girl purchased her, takes her to a craft room and starts gluing all kinds of crap on it to enhance the ugliness for the upcoming contest. And at first the sweater's thinking, oh, she loves me, she's making me more beautiful, and everything's great. And then she puts creepy Santa on. And then creepy Santa talks. And I'm thinking pedophile. Somehow they become friends. And at no point yet does the sweater feel like this teenager's taking things too far. It's not until she puts in a mini fog machine. And then she's like, this is too far. Which I looked up. Every book title that was referenced in the self-published book, those books existed obscurely with another one-word change in the title, not written by the same author. Would have been smarter if she really put her own other self-help books. So she writes self-help for adults.
Okay.
Then that would have been smarter. But I did look up the mini fog machine, and as a theater person, I'll be using it in the future. It fits in the palm of your hand and shoots out smoke. And Amazon, $60. I was like, I need this in my life every day just cause.
Heck yeah. Who doesn't want to travel around with their own mini fog machine? It's like you're Beyonce. You just need a fan to blow your hair and,
I need a little portable. I'm going to order it, and I'm going to get the mini fan, and then we're both going to do a moment.
Yeah, the Beyoncés of books.
I love it.
I don't know what to say about any of all that, except it sounds like a really bad drug trip.
Oh, I guess I didn't put it in a mushroom world. But
Yeah, like if you were living in a mushroom world, I feel like this would make complete and total sense. But the more you're talking about it, the more I'm sitting
I don't
here.
even know what I wrote down. Let me know what I wrote down. Should have spaced this one.
You did say that, but you didn't because your mom got it for you, and she wants to have a common book to talk about. It could have been a cute kids picture book, a book about diversity. Too many passages seem to repeat themselves.
Oh yeah, over and over.
Yeah, this is not for all ages.
It's good.
Confusing, the formatting. Yeah, just looking at it, the formatting, I wouldn't have been able to get through
There's
it.
this huge gap at the top. Like,
Yeah,
there was so much empty space. They could have put like little picture doodles or something cute, like the little sweater and the thread hanging or something.
the formatting was really not good. It needed an editor. It needed another set of eyes. It needed someone who was familiar with a YA book.
Yes.
To do some editing is what
They
I
would
would
have.
say.
They would have cut this book in half. That's why I said at that point
yeah.
that it might as well have been a picture book.
Yeah.
For little guys.
Okay.
And that's really all I said about it. Just in case you're wondering, I had a salad. I'm allergic to tomato. I pick it out. That's all. It's not anything other than, it's not what you think it is, I guess. I don't know what you people think at this point, but that's okay. So James, the title of this next book is James. It looks like it won a couple awards. I don't know what awards, because you know what? That sounds like another section.
Oh, awards. Yeah, it's on my book bingo. Is a book that's won an award.
Now you mentioned book bingo, so you're going to have to explain to them, here's your book. And because I don't do book bingo. I did it in my first iteration, but then I found that it wasn't my jam. Like, I'll go to bingo and I'll go play bingo.
So book bingo is what it sounds like. It's bingo. And I have 4 different bingo cards that I'm playing at the same time. And it's just different things that I can cross off when I read a book. Like, is it a classic? A book with 1 word in the title? A bestseller? A book of the month choice? A book set in the past? A banned book? A book full of adventure? And then I can and one of my bingo cards is a book that's won an award. But this one was actually a retelling of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, interesting.
Told from the point of view of Jim.
Hence James.
Yes, the runaway slave that goes with Huck on his
right.
adventure. So I crossed off it as a retelling.
Got it. So book bingo is a really fun way for you to do a book challenge. My book challenge is just a list, because I couldn't play bingo in my thing. I don't know. Because I want a reward when I win my bingo. And we just couldn't get we tried a reward system. If you guys have a reward system for book bingo, so we can give ourselves rewards for like doing like rows, patterns, or whole cards, let us know. Let us know if you do book bingo.
Give us some ideas for some good rewards.
I mean, for us. I mean,
if you want to reward yourself too, but
yes, get a sticker.
How would you reward us?
Yes, how would you reward us? The author is Percival Everett. All right, so she puts the dates that she reads. So she read this in 3 days. Guys, I'm not putting the dates because it's too random in my world. Kindle. And I wonder how many people are reading Kindles more than, I should look on like the Google.
And that's one thing I do track is every month how many ebooks did I read, or how many audiobooks, and how many actual physical books did I read. That's something I do track.
Random House, 4 stars. All right.
It was I had more quotes than things to say about this book.
It is a lot of quotes.
It was a book about language. It was really about words and how things were said. So I like I said, I had more quotes than things to say. This was a thinking book. This is definitely one that it was you know the story, you know kind of what's going to happen. It was actually it was a Goodreads challenge.
Okay.
For this month, they suggest 100 different books that go along with the month's theme. And I have seen this one on Book Talk over and over again, like for the past year and a half. And I've just never, I think I didn't realize what it was about. And when I found out it was a retelling of Huck Finn, but from Jim's perspective, it seemed appropriate to read it. And I'm glad I did. I would be interested if you listened to it, what your take is on the audio, because I read this, and like I said, so much of this book has to do with language and speech and how people perceive you based on how you talk or how you're supposed to talk. And when you don't talk that way, how it throws everything into chaos.
Is the author, do you know who audios?
I don't know who audios it. Yeah. So we have, let me see, you finished this one on the 15th this month. Trevor Howard's Adventure in Key West. All right, so we have a fiction. It's paperback. You gave it 5
stars.
Oh, and you brought it.
It's going home with you.
I love that.
Because it's going to be a cute short read.
Okay.
So.
7 toes, you're a Hemingway cat. If it references Hemingway's cats, I'm in. Is Trevor Howard a cat?
He is. That's what I mean. Like, cats are fun.
We are in a cat phase. I love that.
What's interesting is the publishing company. It's published by Muffin Publications, and it's located in Florida. Now, when I did the Google on this book and that publisher, it's like it never existed. You cannot find this book.
It's a ghost book.
I screen searched it, and I can't find it anywhere.
Is this one you found at the flea market?
I found it at the flea market.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know where you find this book. The publishing company no longer exists, and the artwork is too
Oh my gosh.
So
I cannot wait. There's
this
Hemingway's
book I got
house.
for $1, and I got it
There's
for
a
artwork.
cat running away from home. You probably can't see this. We'll take some screenshots, but oh, this is I can't. Oh my
Right?
gosh.
The artwork is so cool. I didn't even look up the artist. I was so enamored. I don't even
Does
know what I wrote.
the
artwork is what got me 100%.
well, the artwork gets you a lot.
Sure.
Imaginary. I'm surprised when I got this for $1 at the flea market. Yeah, what is with you and cats lately? They're literally following you. So, like, you can't even find the author?
I can't find anything. So I will put it into your hands.
Okay.
To do more research
Okay.
because you are a little bit more knowledgeable in the literary realm. And you're connected to a few more resources than I am. And I could not find anything at all. And we both in the Key West.
Yeah.
We've both seen the Hemingway house. But it is truly joyful. It is delightful.
Oh, this won me over in the beginning that Trevor Howard is one of about 56 cats that live at the historic Hemingway House Museum in Key West, Florida.
I know, this was a diamond in the rough living
He's
in
got a
Florida.
first and last name.
He does.
He's swimming in this swimming pool. Okay. I'm gonna save this for a review. So.
It's yours to keep forever.
Oh my gosh.
You are.
I adore this. We're gonna get a refill real quick. You're fine. You can say hi.
You can say hello. It's not live. We're trying something new, my friend. Filming our book talks.
Hello.
See, perfect.
See, and this is where you should come for your coffee and your books.
All right, Chez David, Clearwater Flow.
Enjoy, ladies.
Merci.
Oh.
That's a wrap. Time to close the book on today's episode. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Casey. If you had fun, hit the like, follow, and subscribe. Make sure you click on the bell icon.
You can also email us at spilledinkancofeeshow@gmail.com. Send us your questions, tell us what you're reading, or share what we should dive into.
Until next time, keep your coffee hot
And your pages turning.
Bye, guys.